hear me now? Wow, my levels are really low now. Uh, uh, you know what? I wonder if my battery is finally dying. The energy in the battery. It could be the case. I don't know if I have another battery for it. Oh, let's see here. That could be the deal. Let me just hello. Huh. Hey. Oh, I ain't talking too loud. Anyway. Not talking loud enough. Shoot. AJ, what's going on, AJ? I guess this is what I'll do. Is I just turned up the. Yeah, I think I finally lost the battery. Is finally dying. It's like a phantom. I don't know if they call that a phantom battery or not. Anyway, you're welcome to the show. 818-528-4516. That's the number. We can take your calls and proceed with another exciting show here at Let's Paint TV. Basically, you're watching me wake up and proceed with whatever I'm supposed to do on a sunny and cloudy today with a chance of rain. Meatballs in the sky, the chance of spaghetti, al dente, fettuccine noodle, spaghetti strings. Has anyone ever used like ramen noodles with their spaghetti sauce? You know, like they've mixed Japanese noodles with. Yeah. But how's my audio now? But I think there's a problem with my battery. I'm going to see if I have a battery for that. But my battery looks kind of dead. Hello? Yeah, I don't even think my battery's working. Let me see if I should go get a battery. Let me get a battery. I don't even think I have one, but let me see if I have one. Maybe let me make sure everything's plugged in. I think everything is plugged in. I suspect. Yeah, I guess. Let's just double check. Where's this cord going? It's got to be going to wherever it's supposed to be going. I'm not really sure where it's going, but it's going somewhere. I suspect it is. All right. Let me see. Oh, they're 9-volt batteries. It's just one? Kidding me? Just one battery? Okay. Well, that's good. Let me see. I can fix this. Hopefully. Testing. Hello. That's my probably, how are we doing with the audio? That might be better. I can't tell. I put it at full blast. I mean, it should be maybe way up. What do you mean way up? Let me do something here. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. How about that? Yeah, maybe. Okay, now I'm seeing some bounce. I think I had my bounces. Now. Wait a second. Shit, man. I'm talking bad. Be bad, boy. Boy. Yeah. Wow. Audio way up now. Okay, let me just. How's that? That's probably a little more. I'm assuming that's probably better. I don't know. We're just going to check audio for the rest of the hour. I'm feeling the audio. I can hear you good, man, says 8-Bit Acid. Sounds good. Does it sound good now? Because I did make another adjustment probably 20 minutes after you guys made those comments. Anyway, 818-528-4516. That is the number. We're taking your calls here, talking about the creative process, about the mushing on. Mushing on. Okay, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I was reading a post on Facebook. All right, it's Monday, right? No, it's Tuesday. Ah, shit. All right, we're gonna do something here. We're gonna do something here today. I've been meaning to get back on the treadmill. I really have. I feel like I'm kind of out of shape. Actually, those levels are popping, man, popping. The levels are popping. Maybe I shouldn't have them so high. Yeah, maybe I should lower it. Let me see if I should lower it. Let's see here. That's about right. I mean, I think that should be fine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right. Oh man. Yeah, I like the idea of getting back into the swing of things. However, it's nice to just not do it. I guess. I don't know. Uh-oh, earthquake. Did you feel it? Earthquake. Get underneath the table, guys. Get under the table. Oh, shit. Earthquake. All right, 818-528-4516. That's the number. We're actively intrigued by your participation. We are glued to the tube. Does anyone ever say that anymore? Gluing themselves to the tube? Apparently not. Okay, 818-528-4516 is the number. We are trying to gauge our day. Many options. It's hard to sometimes know where to go when you have probably multiple choices of possibilities. Sometimes you just want to not do nothing. Hey, you want to do nothing? Come here, dog. What you doing? What are you doing in here, dog? Get out of here. All right. What's going on? I'm not reading the chat. Let me check on the chat, see if anyone's making any communicative response to the program. Ever consider putting canvas on treadmill and painting with your feet? No. Yeah. Moldy are olds. Yes. You can call me. It's Skype. Skype is the number. 818-528-4516, or top secret number is Let's Paint TV on Skype. That's my secret free call anywhere in the world. Let's Paint TV. I don't have it down on the. I should just list that, but I'm just trying to make it more user friendly, I guess. Or not. I don't, maybe more difficult. I guess I'm making it more difficult. It really it depends on how you look at it. I guess I was going with the old school idea. The old. Oh, you just tried to call and I did not pick up. Huh. Well, interesting. Let me just see. Now I got my Skype open, and it should be working. Let me take a look at the Skype number. I can do a test and see if my Skype works. Let's test. Skype test. Skype test talk. Here we go. Yeah, it's working. A little low.
Hello, welcome to Skype call testing service. After the beep, please record a message. Afterwards, your message will be played back to you.
Is this Let's Paint TV? Hello, I'm trying to reach Mr. Let's Paint. I have a question. Is this Let's Paint TV? Hello, I'm trying to reach Mr. Let's Paint. I have a question.
If you are able to hear your own voice, then you have configured Skype correctly. If you hear this message, but not your own voice, then something is wrong with your audio recording settings.
Right.
Please check your microphone and mic.
All right, hey, welcome to Let's Paint TV.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Hey, I actually have a serious question. I'm not trying to troll you. I'm actually fixing to get into art.
Yes.
And start painting. What do you have as far as like a recommendation to start painting?
Oh man, that's a loaded paintbrush. That's a lot of information to get going with. What do you got available? Like, what do you feel like you want to try? That's probably the first thing you should just do. What are you thinking of hunkering of doing? What are you thinking of doing?
Well, I really want to do something with oils, but I really want to do something that's like something that's extremely surreal. But it's going to take, obviously, since I've never painted ever, it's going to take a lot of time to get to, where that's going to at least look decent.
Well, don't let that get to you, because it will. That's the battle you'll have all the way to your grave, kind of. I mean, at least in some on some levels, there's always a battle there, so expect that to be the case. But are you able to take any painting classes?
Yeah, I am. That's the thing that I'm wondering about. Like I was thinking about going to the art store yesterday, but I really don't even know what the hell to get because I've never tried to paint ever.
Right. Well, see, if you go to an art class, they'll tell you what materials to get.
Yeah.
But just for starters, if you're interested in oil paint,
I guess I'm just guessing oil. I don't know. See, that's the thing.
Well, you could, if you're interested in, you're just starting off, you can also use acrylics.
What's the major difference in between acrylics and oils?
Well, it's water, oil and water. That's the real deal. One is a water-based material, and then the other one is oil-based. So you use paint thinner and stuff like that, to mix and spread the paint. And also the oil has oil fasteners and like linseed oil. It has a whole bunch of oil stuff,
Right.
And acrylic is like plastic. It's just water. It's literally, I mean, you mix it with water, it dries completely really fast. Like within a couple of hours in the sun, it will dry.
Okay. Yeah, I found out about you through a documentary on Reddit that I saw. I thought it was pretty interesting, so I checked your channel out. And I've seen your old videos from, a long time ago. They're hysterical.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a nice little documentary. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what you're up against. But personally, I don't like the acrylic. That's just me. I don't think it's there's no you can't fix things too well.
Right.
And also when you do try to fix them and you try to go over the old paint, the other paint tends to show up and it becomes kind of like an eyesore for me.
Yeah.
And also it doesn't breathe when you layer. Whereas oil, it breathes. When you layer a paint on top of paint on top of paint, it has a better, I think visually for me, it just reads better. But again, that's just me. A lot of people love their acrylic paint,
Yeah.
and a lot of people do wonderful paintings with acrylic paint. I occasionally will work with it, but I don't. It's not my favorite. It's not my cup of tea. It's like drinking tea, but I like drinking coffee.
I love both.
Yeah, you like drinking. Apparently there was a story I heard about the English breakfast tea that one of the ingredients in that is actually has medicinal purposes.
Yeah, I always drink Earl Grey. I love Earl Grey.
All right. Where are you calling from?
Dallas, Texas.
Okay. So yeah, well, there's probably plenty of art painting classes like community college, community adult education classes or whatever,
Right.
So,
I just didn't know if I should just just go full bore, go to an art store and check it out, or should I at least go and do classes, or is that kind of a drag, or I don't know.
It can be a drag. I got to tell you, that's the only drawback about taking classes from various art classes, because it's really dependent on the teacher.
Right.
If you don't jive with the teacher and you feel like this is going to be a painful experience, it's kind of like putting on a pair of shoes, when you try them out. And if you sense, the old adage was, well, the pair of shoes is going to make you feel good, or, it's uncomfortable, but you'll break them in kind of thing.
Right.
That's the old saying, but it never works. It's, it's always disappointing, and you never, and you're like, screw that. So,
yeah.
So if you just like, I guess they call it auditing a class, maybe, just kind of hope, don't buy the class right away. Somehow be able to back out.
Test it out, yeah.
Test it out and just kind of, I guess they call it auditing the class, just to see if you really want to participate and feel comfortable being there. I don't know. I mean, that you might, maybe you should just jump in too. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that the more classes you take, the more you'll have better idea what you want to do, because they'll have you doing different things.
Right.
So, and then they'll certain people or certain professors or whatever artists will lead you a certain way. So it's that's, you just got to
get your feet wet.
yeah, and put paint down on the canvas is ultimately what you got to do.
Right. But it is good to obviously learn techniques and whatnot. But
it can throw you off at the same time. But it can be really rewarding. So it's a catch-22. So if you just if you wanted to, like just to jump in and not, try not, if you go, let's say go to the art store, but don't spend more than, let's say, $50 on stuff.
Right.
And so in that sense, you can get your feet wet with buy some cheap canvas board or
Get some easels, brushes,
yeah,
oils.
right, and buy the student grade paints. That way you can get more for more bang for your buck. And then and cheap brushes. Buy cheap brushes. Don't buy any of those expensive brushes. Just buy the bristle brushes, the China bristle brushes.
No, like sable hair brushes or
No,
something crazy like.
no. There's a whole aisle full of brushes in the art store, which is just nonsense. I mean,
Yeah.
I know some of them are worthy of whatever. More, I'd say those are more important if you're doing watercolor and you need to have a special fat wide, $50-$75 sable watercolor brush that can give you a nice wash. But you're not, that's not, you don't need to do that. So they have these cheap brushes. They're called it's called China bristle brushes. It's cheap. They will fall apart, but you can get like 10 brushes in a package for like $8 or $5.
Yeah, and plus you're just starting out. I mean, I'm not going to really know the difference anyways. I mean, not
Well,
right at first,
you
depending
just
on,
want to play around.
I think the more expensive brushes, it's, you could tell if you knew what you were doing, but not right off, the bat.
Yeah, it's one of these things where if you're gonna get further and further in a more refined technical approach, then a particular brush is going to be important at some point. But yeah, not right now. You just need to get in there and decide as you go, try different processes, what route you want to go, and also that it will, your your abilities will start to show. Your natural abilities will start to show. How you know which would then lead you to go in which direction.
Yeah.
So like right
Right.
now you haven't even done any painting, but you're imagining you'd like to do a certain type of painting. You said surrealism, but
Right.
what kind of surrealism?
Absolutely.
But when you say surrealism, do you want it more?
Like Robert Williams,
Oh,
Dolly, stuff like
yeah,
that. Just
Dolly. Sure.
if I was talented enough to just boom, like up and paint something, it
Yeah.
would be extremely
All right. Well, so
strange.
yeah. So
It
you're
wouldn't be landscapes or puppy dogs or any of that
all right.
bullshit. Like I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's I mean, it's that work is. I mean, those are clearly. I actually met Robert.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, they're. I mean, he and sort of famous comic book artist in a sense. I guess, or I don't know if he would call himself that, but
Yeah, he's lowbrow.
yeah,
Like,
he has based in that kind of world. Or he's sort of the king of lowbrow, or the founder. Though I think I think there's a story he doesn't like being associated with that or something. But anyway, so you're interested in that kind of stuff. So, but well, see, their work and Dolly's too is it's actually very. I mean, that's years. The stuff you see. I mean, these guys.
took 20 or 30 years. No,
Yeah,
if you look at Dolly's first painting, it's not all that great, but if
No.
you check in like 10 years,
Yeah.
it's almost like he's on a different planet. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what you have to remember. It's so you basically have to keep that in the back of your mind. If that's your goal to paint like
Right.
that, then taking some classes is going to be important, and you can get up to speed to some degree with that because it's more hands-on. And if the right professor leads you the right direction, then boom, you're going to be making that kind of stuff. You're going to get closer to what you want to achieve. But even then, you're still going to have to keep plugging away, and but you'll get better results with the kind of the right direction ultimately.
yeah, true. You just have to jive with the teacher or whoever's helping you
So I
out
would
at the
say,
time.
yeah, I would say even take an illustration class if that's the kind of interest. If you're interested in that kind of work, look into that idea, illustration. As opposed to abstract painting class, or like conceptual painting class, or something like. I mean, you might be better. You might enjoy a class where they really get, show you the tricks of the trade, if you will,
Right.
to get up to speed.
Yeah, it's definitely a process. It's not going to be, once you start, it's not going to be an overnight,
Yeah. But you're not necessarily interested in like going to art school for a degree, are you? Or are you?
No, I wouldn't. Not at this point. No, I don't think so. But I mean, I guess
Well, you see
if I get just super into it, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's always a possibility.
It's not imperative to do it either. But I found it helped me. But that was that everyone's got their own route and process and all that stuff. So
right.
Yeah, so that's what you got to do is just I'd say take some art classes ultimately, but if you want to goof off and just experiment, you'd be surprised what you can do, just on your own, and maybe just any little guidance you might pick up off the internet, like how-to videos on the internet. I mean,
right.
I don't have any. I can't show. I don't have any links for you on that, but there's.
Yeah, no, I can search it out and definitely find some things. I just found your stuff interesting. I mean, any dude making eggs, playing chess, running on a treadmill, and painting at the same time—that's pretty awesome. It's hysterical.
Well, thanks. Yeah, well, it's just and it has in some ways has nothing to do with painting, but in a way it does. There's sort of so you can read into it. Well, it's the creative process ultimately. And,
it has a lot of dual meanings of like why you're doing what you're doing. It's not just being weird.
I'm not necessarily always good at explaining what it is, but it's always fun to hear other people's thoughts on it, and or know that there's something to it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Good luck on that. I'd just jump in. But like I said, don't. I don't spend a bunch of money yet until you start taking some classes. But throw a few $50. That's a few beers at a bar.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not going to hurt you too much. Most likely.
No.
And then when you take these art classes, they'll end up telling you to buy certain product also.
Right.
So then that's when it starts getting crazy, because then they are going to get you to buy $200-$300 worth of art supplies. Then you're like, uh-oh, I better be into this,
Yeah, I didn't want to walk in there and not know how much it actually would cost to start, and then like walk out of there and spend $300 and be like, really?
Yeah, well, it might, depending on the class you take, but certain, it's just, it's the materials it can get up there, but at the same time, once you get a certain amount of the product, depending on what you're using too, like, don't buy if you're interested in using just only acrylic paint. Well, you just buy acrylic paint. You don't buy oil paint. You don't buy pastels. You don't buy you buy just stuff that's related to say the acrylic paint. And in a sense, I think acrylic paint might be your cheapest route.
Right.
But like I said, it's also
you use oils, right?
Yeah, I use oil almost predominantly.
Exclusively, yeah.
Well, I don't have an exclusive contract or anything. I mean,
no, I know.
I'll switch over, but rarely do I. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I do watercolors too. I mean, I have some watercolor paper right now. I've been kind of itching to try or use. But ultimately, you're gonna just use. At some point, you want to be open to using whatever material, and just sort of use. And that's what you end up doing is just get your hands on whatever, and go for it.
And just experiment, man.
That's what I think one could do, or that's what I try to do.
What do you recommend as far as like what to paint? Do you think I should just like almost get like a box of donuts and try that and see, and then just
that's a good idea.
Refine that thing over and over and over again?
Oh man, if you get that excited about painting a box of donuts, sure. I mean, it's really your own.
You know what I mean? Because you had a painting thing with when you did a box of donuts.
Yeah, that's true. That was my
Yeah.
first Let's Paint TV video that I did, and I ate the donut and drank the coffee. Yeah, well, yeah, you can do something simple as that. But I mean, you probably, I'd say, something that maybe be of interest to you will be kind of fun to try to paint because you might be inspired to paint it. I guess
Right.
I mean, are you a Dallas Cowboys fan or something?
Not really into sports.
Yeah,
I'm more
yeah.
into like music or
So
computers, stuff like that.
do you like an iMac
PC.
PC?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe those PCs are not too. I mean, computers aren't really that fun to draw or nothing, but maybe you would want to. I don't know. You just have to try these things out.
Right.
Don't and it might be disappointing. I mean, just keep that in the back of your mind. These disappointments can and will happen, and that's probably where maybe taking a class will kind of help you through it. And frankly, I can try to coach you through it too, just by continuing on. Ultimately. Yeah. So you just got to. Yeah. Do you do any drawing?
No, that's the thing. I'm
Okay.
just kind of
Yeah. Well,
trying to. I don't know. It just kind of came to me. I was
yeah.
talking to my girlfriend. We were watching a few things. I was actually looking at a Bosch painting. The Dutch painter Bosch.
Yeah. Sure.
And I was just totally mesmerized. I was like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "Look at this guy." I'm like, "He painted this in the 1500s. The shit is just."
Yeah.
It was just. I was just taken by it. I was like, "I wonder if I could paint." Like I've just never.
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" Is it possible to find a talent later in life that you had no clue that you had just because you weren't exposed to it?
Well, it's your passion. That's an entry point. That's going to make you want to jump in and do it. It's not hard to do, but then it is. When you try to, as you want to be more refined, or you're trying to achieve a particular skill or idea into it gets complicated, even though it's just simply a painting. But you got to remember, there's not a right way to do it.
Right.
And so even Dolly or your Robert Williams, I mean, they ultimately found their own path. They found their own calling, their own route of doing things. And so you got to remember that, even though you may follow a line of pursuit, a way of painting or approach, technique wise.
Right.
But at some point, you have to know that you have to. I recommend to go on your own at some point and make some variations, change and stuff.
Yeah, do some different types of styles, I guess is what you mean.
Yeah. So, but
or do one style and build upon that style
right.
until you can do another one.
What you need, I totally recommend though, is you take the art classes. At least I found that I benefited from this by just taking as many art classes as you can possibly handle.
Okay.
Yeah, really. Because again, it's you're gonna be disappointed with a few of the professors and art teachers or whatever,
Right.
or because they're teaching you something that you're just not getting, or you just don't like, or you don't like them, or whatever, the dynamics, But even the people that you have difficulties with, or you feel like you're not getting it, or you're not feeling what they're trying to tell you about, though that it's sort of a struggle, but that stuff can still stay in you, and you still learn from that,
Right.
I years ago had a life drawing class, and I actually ended up getting a D. The guy gave me a D. He hated me.
Right.
I didn't hate him, but I didn't really like him.
Right.
But I actually learned from him, even though he was sort of a pain in the ass, the guy, I mean,
Right.
I was too. I would show up late, and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, every high school I went to, I got kicked out of. So I never really got along with teachers at that time. So,
Yeah,
but I
well,
think it'd be a little bit different now.
yeah, I'm sure it would be. Yeah, no, because if you're really into doing this, and the thing is if you can get a little bit of success, it really encouragement and success, and it really helps your endorphins to keep going with it.
Yeah.
But and so having some sort of someone helping you out in terms of a teacher, even guide you a little bit can be quite helpful, really. But you could possibly, I'm always worried that you might be led the wrong direction. But then for that, frankly, I might be leading you the wrong direction too.
I doubt that. I mean,
I don't know, but anyway, so I just Dallas is a big city, so I'm sure there's plenty of possibilities to look for the kind of close to free or free classes that are being offered for to get started, and then maybe you go for it and you take an actual class that costs like $500 at the arts school or whatever
right.
that's down there, because you heard how great this particular class is. Well, then it's worth it at some point. But I would just give it a shot, try these things out, and a lot of a lot of artists are art teachers and professors. I even have subbed and given help, substituted the some art classes here in LA, but and I wouldn't mind having a job to doing that, but anyway, it's very competitive because a lot of artists do that. So
Right.
what I'm saying is that even the crummy hole in the wall community college in Dallas is going to have an art teacher there that you'll be surprised it's going to be very helpful,
Right.
because they're artists themselves. Almost every art teacher is an artist themselves. A struggling one maybe, but
You'd almost have to be. Like, that would almost
well, yeah,
it'd almost be silly if you weren't, you
right.
know?
You can't be a mathematician and then end up teaching art class, So and almost all art teachers end up, all sort of have this educational thing where they end up having a master's degree in art. Almost all of them do, or they tend to. So they have a lot of knowledge, and it's just a matter of finding ones that might be of help for you. Now, some will not be keen or interested in your interest. The Robert Williams lowbrow stuff.
Right.
They're not going to care for that. They're going to go, well, whatever. Like personally, I'm not. I don't. I don't think. I'm not a big fan of lowbrow art, really. But there's some nice stuff out there, and I know of it. So.
Yeah, I
But
just think a lot of it's pretty fascinating. Not just
yeah,
lowbrow, but just
yeah.
more
Well,
surrealism
surrealism,
or realism.
right? And in some ways, I at times will do stuff that's sort of surreal, but it's in my own way, So,
Right.
in fact, I like that is maybe more making stuff like that more so than being because I spent the last 30 years I've been painting landscapes, just straight up landscapes, and I'm kind of good at it for after doing it for 30 years, but at the same time, it's nice to do something different and be a little more exploratory or something. I'm still learning myself.
Yeah, I guess it's just a journey. It's not like, oh, already, I know everything about painting now. I'm done.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, people who are like that or who end up being that way are usually give up painting. They can because they feel it gets a little boring for them, and there's no more discovery because they're not still struggling in a sense, or they don't feel like they are, or there's not enough of a carrot out front for them.
God, I'd hate to be in that place.
Yeah, well, anyway, but again, this is something you can do, really for the rest of your life. I mean, people say, well, what are you going to, people have regular jobs, they retire, and then what do they do, kind of thing. Well, you basically never retire when you just make art all the time.
Yeah, true. That's interesting.
There's this AJ Nevins in the chat room. Are you looking at the chat room?
Yeah, I put my email on there.
Oh, okay. Oh, so AJ, if you want to contact Richard there's Richard's email, and vice versa. If you have some more help for Moody. But I'm here. If you want to call in and ask questions, you're more than welcome to. I don't always. A lot of times, I do this show and I just talk nonsense and goof off. So, but
the thing about you that I really truly find interesting is that you've been doing this crazy treadmill painting thing for like a while, but you never gave up on it. You're like still doing it. I just think that's pretty interesting. Like you haven't been like, well, people don't like it, fuck it, and you just caved in or whatever and just did something else. You just kept on. I think that's pretty interesting. Because how long have you been doing the show?
Well, from 01, since 01, Let's Paint TV.
It's a pretty long time.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty interesting.
So. And then I'll tell you what, it's I'll take breaks, and then also I kind of like the way I do this show now. I just sort of wake up and just sit in front of the computer and pick my nose if I feel like it. So it's not the same kind of show as the old shows used to be that were on Cable X. But I'll do live performances, and sometimes I get motivated to do something here too. So.
Yeah, I saw something else where you were like in a music store in a cage doing art or something. I thought that was awesome. I was like, whoa.
Well, I did a performance at a music store, but it wasn't
Yeah.
at a cage. It had sort of it had that look because they were looking upstairs because I was on the second floor. I think that's what it was. All right, well, there you go. Just kind of jump in, I'd say, and maybe you can just get going on that route, and also pick stuff up off the internet and stuff like that,
right?
For the time being.
Yeah, probably will go today and just go pick up some stuff and get stuck in.
Just get pick up a red, a blue, maybe a starter kit. The people at the art store will help you out too. They'll tell you.
Right.
Look, I don't want to spend like more than $50. Let me get like what is it, like a Blick store down there, or where would you be going to,
It's something with an A. I forgot the name of it. I'd have to look. Agil or something. Art. Shit. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look it up. Art store.
Not Aaron Brothers, is it?
Oh, what the hell's the name of the store? It's called Azel Art Supply.
No, I don't know. It must be local or
yeah, it's
regional.
local. It's from Texas. ASEL. Azel.
All right. Well, anyway, they got a good selection, and they try to give good prices and stuff.
I can put it in the chat and see what you think. Hold on.
And they have a website and all.
Yeah, they're what is it? Oh, it won't let me do a web address on here or send it.
All right, well, no biggie.
But
well, anyway, you'll be good at if you just get a red, yellow, blue, simply. Maybe a black, maybe, I guess, and a white. Get a white. Some canvas. That's
the thing. How much is canvas? Is that like?
Well, it can vary, but you can get the cheap route is always buying canvas boards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those will be a lot cheaper overall, and those are good to start out with. I still use them. I've sold paintings, in that on those, So it's a lot of they're just ultimately cheaper. You're going to buy a pack of 5, or 2 or whatever, and maybe pay $1 for a 9x12. But I would go a little bigger. I would say, I'd go the size of a maybe 18x24 at the least, or 16x20, just to get, because you have more room to do stuff, and maybe even go even bigger. But I wouldn't go any smaller. I don't think, because then you're getting all teeny tiny stuff,
Right.
So I would go anything bigger than, say, 16x20, and go higher. Get a 30 by, if you're feeling really want to go for it. Go 24x30 or whatever.
Just go crazy.
Yeah. AJ,
What are you gonna paint today? Are you painting today?
I'm gonna. I don't. I don't. I mean, the show's almost over. I won't be painting with you all today, but I'm gonna probably be painting this afternoon. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Yeah.
I just took over the whole show. These people are probably pissed.
No, they're fine. No, they're interested at times. They're would be possibly one or two. Seth says, try newspaper clipping and glue. There's lots of good art materials topics in the newspaper. Oh, that's for ideas, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah. AJ says, I use canvas sheets by Fredericks. Yeah, you can buy. They have a pack of canvas, not canvas board, but it's just the canvas in a pad form,
Right.
And so it's like canvas paper, and I think that might be the cheapest actually, but it's not much more expensive to buy canvas board, and it feels a little more like a painting,
Right.
So I would probably go there.
Well, cool, man. I'll have to look into that probably either today or tomorrow. Go get started.
No, you gotta do it now, man. You gotta.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't even wait. I should just be just leave. Once your show's over, I think that's what I'm going to go do. Go to the art store.
Hey, no, that's great. It's always, I've always liked going to the art store. I mean, I don't really like having to pay, I don't like paying to buy the materials, but it's always, it's always been a nice place for me to go to. It's sort of like a dog going to the pet
store. Yeah.
So I mean, it's
for
always,
sure.
And I think the only disappointing thing about an art store is that you might buy a product or materials that you think you're going to use, and you spend $50 to $100 or more, and then you end up not using it. Then that's sort of a downer.
Yeah.
Just economically. And the stuff isn't necessarily cheap. I mean, it does add up if you don't. Like I buy my oil paints from a company, and online,
Right.
And I'm always kind of being careful about, trying to get sales, and also just don't get tricked into buying, like those really good brushes kind of thing, and or really good canvas. It's not necessary.
Yeah, it's some gimmicky sales pitch bullshit thing.
Yeah.
Don't get entrapped in something like that, I guess.
A lot of times they'll package stuff, they'll package stuff for you, and like their earthquake preparedness kits, and it's like that's not really all. It's not what you need always. Sometimes it's just straight ahead. All you need is a brush and a little bit of paint, any kind of paint. I mean, you could paint with black and white paint for that matter, or just black, and just use kind of. Just or Indian ink. You might want to try Indian ink, with a brush, on a Bristol board or some sort of thick paper that can handle the Indian ink. That's really cheap, that. But see, it's endless. It's endless what you can do, or what you want to do, or what you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's endless. So yeah, I mean, maybe you might even get lucky if you look around, like in art classes. There might be a class that teaches you how to kind of make sort of lowbrow, like the artist that's teaching the class does that kind of work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, I definitely want to find somebody that does something that is surreal, but at the same time, I don't want to do something that's really a copy of anybody else's work. I want it to be in the
right,
same style,
yeah,
but I want it to have its own, it be at a point to where once, I get semi decent at it, it has my own, like a thumbprint on it. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, exactly. But so that's where if you take classes from multiple teachers, you're bound to get all confused and end up finding your own way. And have influences by all those people. So you know what I mean. You take the things that you like from each person's sort of instructions, and then you just come up with your own. You find your own route. But
Right.
so that's why you want to take a lot of classes, I think. Classes could be online. That you could find some online instructions probably. I bet if you have that in you to do it that way too.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Awesome. Did you take a lot of classes?
Yeah, I did.
Do you have a degree in art, or?
Yeah. No, I got a master's.
Damn it.
Yeah. Well, after high school, I went to art school. But even in high school and as a kid, I took art classes. So I've just been making art basically all my life.
Right. You came out of the womb with a paintbrush and a canvas in the other hand.
A little bit. And honestly, I've never been terribly good at it. And it's always been a struggle. But I've gotten good at it just by doing it a whole bunch, and I get lucky or something along those lines. You get better. You get better or lucky at times. I think the luck shows up. You kind of need luck a little bit to keep your inspiration going.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
So it's tricky. So if you haven't done anything yet, you haven't done any painting yet, so it's going to be tricky to get started and find enough impetus to keep going. That's going to be a tough go for you. You just have to trick your brain into knowing that if I keep doing this, I will find success.
Right. You just got to have the determination.
Yeah, the determination, particularly when you start off, particularly at your age, because you're not you're not in kindergarten right now.
No, definitely not.
So it's gonna be a little, you're dealing with now, your mind is now all grown up in a sense, and it's gonna be harder to just be free with the process of making art.
Right.
But once you know and start to enjoy that, then you're home free in a sense, Then you're going to be trapped. You're going to be stuck. You're not stuck, but it's going to be a new part of your life ultimately.
Right.
But
it's definitely an avenue I want to travel down and see what happens.
You can definitely go you can go a couple of stops without even thinking and have fun. But it can get a little more difficult. I mean, it does. It's up and down. It's not all, as
puppy dogs and rainbows.
Yeah. I mean, so it's an up and down kind of deal. I mean, like right now, I'm kind of waking up and not knowing what I'm going to do today, which is fine. But I have plenty of things to do. So my problem is I just need to just realize I can't do everything all at once. That's probably the thing I realize I needed. So just slow down and maybe, even though I do try to do everything at once on the program, I just have to pick something. I got to pick something and just go for it. So
right. You just need to put on another pot of coffee and get started.
Well, I think I might need a little more, or maybe a nap. I might need another nap. I don't
know. A nap and then a pot of coffee, and then get wired up.
Yeah. Seth says he started drawing planes and jets in Star Wars in 1975, 77. Wow, that's around when I mean that's you're probably my age, Seth. I'm guessing.
I'm only slightly younger than that.
Yeah, right.
By a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, I gathered you were maybe a little bit younger. So, but it's never. I don't think it's ever too late to start. It's just really never. It's never. No, it's easy. It's an easy. It's you know, it's not like. It is a sort of a mental battle, and it can be very frustrating to achieve certain techniques or you know what you want to try to get, and then try to get that on the canvas can be kind of overwhelming. And
oh yeah,
the thing is, you just have to battle with it and let the battle, understand that it is sort of a battle, but it's a good battle. It's like World War II. It's like the good war.
Right.
That's what they say. World War II was the good war.
The good war, yeah. World War I was bad, but II was awesome.
Well, and all the other wars were bad, but World War II was good. Like, even the Dalai Lama said that World War II was necessary.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there you go. Yeah, so just jump in. You just jump in, and we'll help you out.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, we talked to you the whole hour almost. Wow.
Yeah, I feel bad. Like, Jesus.
No, you don't have to feel. Look, man, no one ever calls us. I mean, the way the show's been, the way we get the calls, we rarely get calls. Maybe a call a day, so it's no big deal. And I didn't really have much impetus to do anything right now except for just sort of hang out. So I'm glad I was able to help you out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for answering the phone.
Sure. Okay, well,
but I guess I'll let you go. I don't want to keep you here. Somebody else might want to call in.
Well, we're closing up shop in another couple of minutes anyway.
Oh, okay. All right, well, later, man.
All right, take care,
Moody.
Yeah. Moody. All right.
Later.
See you, man. Okay, we were talking to Moody. He's in the chat room, and we also were talking to AJ and Seth. And whoever else was in the chat. Let's see. We 8-Bit Acid. Anyway, so we had some fun here talking to you all about getting started in the wonderful world of painting and of making artwork and all that kind of stuff. And so that was hopefully encouraging, inspiring information. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I will answer them every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 12 noon here on Let's Paint TV. That is basically it. I was going to run because I think I need to run, but I might have to just do that tomorrow or something. All right. Yeah, and I don't even know if I'm going to paint. I guess I'm going to paint today. Maybe I should eat some lunch. Maybe take a nap. There's Taylor. Taylor's in the room. Anyway, I'll figure this out. But yeah, maybe I need another cup of coffee. Of course, it's noon over here on the West Coast, and I'm still trying to get motivated. But again, I think in my case, it's like I got a number of things I could do, and so I'm kind of like debating on which one to do. So I'll get going here. I'm going to get going, guys. I promise you I will. Until tomorrow, we will see you here on the program. 818, well, whatever. We'll take your calls tomorrow. 818-52. Anyway, so that is it. Goodbye now. Bye.